Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Celine and today we're stepping into a world where magic meets mythology. In this video, we'll explore how J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter series draws deeply from ancient myth and legends. To do that, I'll be drawing from Mythology by Edith Hamilton and Norse Mythology by Neil Gaiman, a beautiful retelling of the Norse world of gods and wolves. So, let's begin. Before we dive into each character, let's pause to think about this. Mythology and literature are bound together. From Homer to Tolkien and from Iliad to Harry Potter, the stories have always borrowed from each other, reshaping old symbols for new worlds. J.K. Rowling didn't just invent names, she resurrected them. She breathed new life into ancient archetypes, weaving them into her school of witchcraft and wizardry. Today, we'll look at 6 of those figures: Hermione Granger, Remus Lupin, Sirius Black, Minerva McGonagall, Argus Filch, and Fenrir Greyback. Each carries a myth in their name, and the shadow of the gods in their story. Let's start with the brightest witch of her age, Hermione Granger. Her name, Hermione, comes straight from Greek mythology. In Mythology by Edith Hamilton, we meet Hermione as the daughter of Helen of Troy and Menelaus, king of Sparta. Her story appears in the aftermath of the Trojan War, a world still haunted by loss and beauty. In Hamilton's retelling, Hermione is promised in marriage to Orestes, but her hand is later given to Neoptolemus, the son of Achilles. When Orestes kills Neoptolemus to reclaim her, Hermione becomes a symbol of how the legacies of war and pride ripple through generations. Now, compare that to Rowling's Hermione. She's born into a world divided between Muggle and Wizard. The ancient Hermione carried the weight of her lineage. Our Hermione carries the weight of her intellect and courage in a society that often undervalues both. Even her name's root, from Hermes, the god of eloquence and wit, reflects her sharp mind and quick tongue. She isn't just clever, she's the voice of reason amid chaos, a modern reflection of ancient wisdom. Next, we turn to Professor Remus Lupin, the kind, tragic werewolf whose name holds one of the clearest mythological connections in the series. In Roman mythology, the story of Romulus and Remus tells of twin brothers, sons of Mars and the Vestal Virgin Rhea Silvia. Cast into Tiber River and left to die, they are saved by a she-wolf who nurses them until a shepherd finds them. When they grow, Romulus kills Remus in a quarrel, and Rome is founded upon his name. Lupin's name mirrors this legend perfectly. Remus, the wolf child, and Lupin derived from lupus, the Latin word for wolf. But Rowling transforms the myth into something gentler and sadder. Remus Lupin isn't raised by a wolf, he is cursed to become one. The she-wolf of Rome becomes, in his story, an unwanted inheritance. Yet, like his namesake, he remains noble, compassionate, and self-sacrificing, a teacher, not a conqueror. In both tales, we find the same question. Can a person shaped by wildness still belong to the world of men? Now, let's talk about Sirius Black. Sirius Black's name comes from Sirius, the brightest star in the night sky, also known as the dog star. In Greek mythology, Sirius was associated with Orion, the hunter, and his faithful hound. Orion is described as a mighty hunter, said by some to be the son of Poseidon, the god of the sea, who granted him the power to walk upon the waves. Handsome and tall, Orion was known not only for his skill in the hunt, but also for his bold heart. He became the companion of Artemis, the virgin goddess of the moon and the hunt, and for a time, They roamed the forests together, equals in swiftness and strength. Yet their closeness stirred the anger and fear of others, some say of Apollo, Artemis's brother, who tricked her into shooting Orion with her own arrow. In grief, Artemis placed him among the stars. When Orion was placed there, his dog followed him, glowing fiercely in the heavens. The rising of Sirius marks the dark days of summer, the hottest, brightest, and most restless time of the year. In Greek mythology, constellations like Orion and his dog remind us how mortals became eternal symbols, heroes turned into light. Rowling captures this perfectly. Sirius Black, the man, becomes a living reflection of his star, bright, loyal, fierce, and doomed. His animagus form, a great black dog, ties directly to the dog star's celestial symbolism. And just as the star burns with both brilliance and melancholy, Sirius himself shines brightly against the darkness of Azkaban and betrayal. He is the hunter's companion, forever loyal and forever lost to the night. Professor Minerva McGonagall's name is one of the Rowling's clearest tributes to the classical world. In Greek mythology, Minerva, or Athena to the Greeks, is the goddess of wisdom, reason, and strategic warfare. She was born not of a mother, but from the head of Zeus himself, fully grown and in armor, the embodiment of intellect and clarity. Minerva was the protector of heroes, cities, and craftsmen, the goddess who taught men how to tame their minds. Her symbols were the owl, the olive tree, and the spear, representing wisdom, peace, and precision. Now, think of Professor McGonagall. She is the strategist of Hogwarts, the calm mind amid chaos, the stern but fair mentor who teaches transfiguration, the art of controlled change. Like her namesake, she stands for intellect balanced with discipline. And just as Athena turned Arachne into a spider for her arrogance, McGonagall too has no patience for pride or folly. Her animagus form, a cat, mirrors Athena's own association with sacred animals, and her name reminds us that intellect itself is a kind of magic. Our next figure, Argus Filch, might seem an odd inclusion. A squib, a caretaker, and a constant presence in the shadows of Hogwarts. But his name reveals an ancient story. In Greek mythology, we meet Argus Panoptes, the all-seeing, a giant with 100 eyes. Argus was set by Hera to guard Io, a mortal woman whom Zeus had turned into a cow to hide his infidelity. When Hermes lulled Argus to sleep and killed him, Hera honored her faithful servants by placing his eyes in the tail of the peacock. Argus was the vigilant one, always watching and never resting, and so is Filch. He prowls the corridors, eyes everywhere, seeking rule breakers and mischief makers. He is, like his mythic counterpart, a servant of order, tragic, loyal, and ultimately powerless. Even his surname, Filch, meaning to steal or snatch, carries irony. Argus guards, but Filch cannot truly possess magic. His watchfulness is both his duty and his curse. In a world where sight so often equals power, Argus Filch remains forever on the outside, a mortal among gods. And finally, we turn to one of the darkest figures in Rowling's world, Fenrir Greyback. His name, of course, comes from Fenrir, the monstrous wolf of Norse mythology. In Neil Gaiman's Norse mythology and in the Prose Edda, Fenrir is born of the trickster god Loki and the giantess Angerboda. Even as a pup, he is feared by the gods of Asgard. They raise him under Odin's eye, but when he grows too mighty, they attempt to bind him with chains. Twice he breaks free. Finally, they forge a magical ribbon called Gleipnir, made from the sound of a cat's footfall, the beard of a woman, and other impossible things. Only this illusion of gentleness can hold him. But Fenrir's rage is eternal. When Ragnarok comes, the doom of the gods, he will break his chains, devour Odin himself, and fill the world with darkness. In Rowling's Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, Fenrir Greyback carries the same ferocity. He isn't a man cursed by the moon. He's a wolf in human skin. He attacks children, infects the innocent, and becomes a living embodiment of fear. Like his mythic counterpart, he stands at the edge of apocalypse, proof that once you invite the beast into the world, it can never truly be chained. What connects all these figures from Hermione to Fenrir is the timelessness of myth. Each one carries a spark of something ancient, something older than Hogwarts itself. Through them, Rowling reminds us that every spell, every transformation, every act of courage or cruelty echoes the stories humanity has always told about itself. Because myth never really dies, it just learns new names. And that's the mythology behind Harry Potter, a world where ancient gods whisper through modern magic. If you enjoyed watching this video and want to see a part 2 or more deep dives into mythology and literature, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you for watching and see you next time.